afternoon. Good morning, Vietnam.
Good morning.
How's it?
Looks like somebody blew up his bunker. And welcome to Ed. He stepped on a landmine. It blew up his computer.
Everyone,
so Ed, where about in the
beautiful
world are
to
you?
have
In
everyone
North
back. We
Carolina?
haven't had Adi in. So Adi is just going to actually run this one for us. He's not even going to wait for me to introduce him. He's just going to go. He's going for blood. Ed, where are you in the world? We want answers.
Oh wow, I'm in the United States. I'm in the state called North Carolina, the city of Durham. As Eddie and I were talking, right down the street from Duke University, and a stone's throw from Chapel Hill University, two world-renowned universities. Pleasure to chat with you guys today.
Beautiful. Adi, you got a new microphone there, Adi.
Do you know what? I decided to 2024 is my level up year. Okay. And
Is this the year?
this is the one that I got. There's probably better ones on the market, but this one it looks cute, you know. It looks the part. I think it's plugged in.
Oh, you know this is the year where you make it, huh, Adi? This is the big one.
I'm hoping to make it.
Adi already made it. He's already made it.
To my knowledge, I was very aware that with the balance sheet of your business, you've way made it. But all right, you can play your humble games for now.
They say you've only made it when you got 5 cars in the garage. I've only got 3, so we're not quite there. Only one of them works at the moment. I don't know how many that counts as.
I have never in my existence of knowing conservative Jewish men that are good with money. Have I ever theoretically? You're never going to do that, no matter what your balance sheet looks like. So, intelligent Jewish people with money, they will never buy 5 cars. You definitely agree with me on that one.
If I had I mean, you know, a 5's a lot. 5's a lot. You know, I don't know if we can call the motorbikes that we have and the quad bikes. You know, I think every quality businessman and woman should have a vehicle that makes them feel amazing, that gets them safely from one place to the next. You know, I think that, you know, safety as a business person is very, very important. You get all these stories of the Amazon guy driving like an old Toyota, an old Nissan, whatever it was, you know, but the reality is it wasn't safe. So I think, you know, if you carry responsibility, you have to do so with a good quality computer, like a great phone, and you know, great car. You know, I think you have to play the part. I think it's very important.
Well said.
I agree with you, especially us in the tech space. You know, Ed and I, he's joined my team on my vision, so we're partners. But for me to do this thing I'm trying to do in the tech space, I need the latest tech 24/7. So yeah, I agree with you. It's extremely crucial. Rez, what's going on in the import-export world? What's the latest things you need out there? It looks like you sitting in your car comfortably seems to be your office that you've got covered.
As long as we have a phone, we're not really interested in fancy cars and fancy laptops. We just need WhatsApp. WhatsApp, email. That's how we do import-export in Africa.
That's how we do it. Some of the guys don't even have WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, email, and Excel. That's all that is required. And you just make sure that the goods are on the truck, that it gets delivered. That's all you need.
And that's, ladies and gentlemen, we've now taught you how to open a procurement company. I hope someone wrote that down. Beautiful, guys. It's actually been a very beautiful start to the year. You know, like things are going very well. It seems like on everybody's side. I think maybe just because it is February, that's why things are going well.
It's still early.
It's still early. You don't count your chickens before they hatch, Ed. Yeah, it seems like this is going to be the promised year after the last the last three rough ones. This
Well,
might be the good one, guys.
I can't say that over here in the States because we're in an election year. And if you're following our politics, it's real interesting these days. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, no, it's American politics has become very, very fascinating. We see. I never even knew that the Kennedys had a sibling that was still in the picture until the junior, Robert Kennedy's Jr.
Yeah, one of them.
He's popped out in the picture now, slandering. He's actually calling out all of the things America is doing wrong to win the American presidency, which is a very fascinating approach.
He will never win. I will win before he wins.
You will win before he wins. He's just going to be the guy that's going to call out America on everything,
and we should be called. And we should be called on a lot of things. You know, our politicians should be called on a lot of things on both sides of the aisle. You know, whether they're Republicans or Democrats. Now, they both have a stronghold on our country, where a third independent party is probably in my lifetime not going to win. However, we need more individuals that are going to call both sides out, because I think both of them are hypocritical at times.
I think that's the nature of politics. Huh?
Yeah,
I don't think that's just America. That's the nature of politics.
Guys, let's just leave it at that. Let's just say Donald Trump is going to win, and then let's move on. let's just move on to the next.
Well, topic. I've started scouting other countries that I want to live in. If that happens, I looked at South Africa. We looked at Panama and some other areas. So yeah, if you see me recording from another area,
we also have our election this year, so we're not looking too rosy either.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, our election is looking very fascinating, but yeah, we got this, guys. Adi, you still with us?
I am. I was kind of like thinking about one big picture for a guest that we, will have on. Ed now is our guest for today. I thought it was somebody that was going to be in the retail rental space and buying and selling. The question that I was going to pose, and maybe it's just a question in general that I was pondering on.
Oh, you're thinking of Barry. He just had to postpone. I don't know. The selling properties thing is very stressful, so he postponed on us. We'll catch him in a week or two.
I'm still going to ask my question.
Barry, please do.
Barry. So the question I was going to ask Barry, I'm very focused. The question I was going to ask is, ultimately in the space that they're in, there are other similar companies. What makes them stand out? Now, the kind of answer I do not want to hear is, we always deal with people with integrity. We always try to drive a culture of innovation where people give their best and show up, and honesty. And we believe that if we do that for long enough, we'll be able to secure ourselves as a well-trusted brand. And that's how we build and have built this business over time. Now, that is not the answer I want to hear, because that is the answer everybody gives. What is a great answer for what makes a great business besides for that stuff?
Yeah, I'll tell you what my experience with the real estate companies have been. I'm actually trying to sell one of our properties, and to put it simply for you, is tenacity and persistence. They do not, if it comes to an agent who wants to sell your property or rent out your property, the more tenacious that they are, and the more persistent that they are.
Very weak there on us.
Sorry?
Yeah, we got you back. Yeah,
so I'm saying that the more tenacious they are and the more persistent that they are, That's how they build the backbone of their business. Because when they decide that there's a property that they want, they will not leave you alone, and they will keep going and going, and they will send you messages, they will email you, they will call you, and they're just in your face. That's one of the things that I have noticed in my recent experience with the agents or state agents in the property sector. And if you actually look at look at look at the way that the popular ones, obviously this doesn't relate to America, but in South Africa, if you look at the popular agents, you're looking at Pam Golding, you're looking at Jarwitz, you're looking at Sotheby's. These guys are they like bulldogs. They go after the property, they will get it listed, and once they get listed, they will go after the buyers, and they will push and push and push until they make the sale. Those are the good ones. Then you come across the agents that you can already tell from the first conversation that you have with them, they are not going to sell your property. And you can tell that they are not going to rent out your property because they're too, what is the word that I'm looking? They're too passive.
Ed, what's your take?
So I'm a little bit different. First of all, everything that I do, every interaction that I have with anyone is rooted in my faith. And my faith calls for me to care for people deeply, no matter who they are, where they come from. And that comes across to people. So in my space, there are a ton of people doing the same thing. But when you leave me or you deal with me, you know that I've cared about you. Even if you don't do business with me, I care about you enough to say, you know what? We may not be a good fit, but guess what? I got Addy that he could sit here. He'll probably be a great resource for you, or have somebody else that's a resource for you. So for me, it's all about care. I posted something on LinkedIn the other day. I don't ask people, how are you doing? I always ask, how you feeling? Because they're two different things. How you doing? You might be doing great. You might have the 5 cars in the garage, and you're doing, on the surface, you're doing great, but underneath, you're feeling horrible. I had a friend this past summer. On the surface, it looked like he was doing absolutely great. Absolutely, he was doing great. But underneath, he was dealing with something, and he took his life. And we were shocked that he did that. And I sat back and I was like, could I care for him a little bit more? Could I reach out to him a little bit more? I think as a society, if we come across showing that we really care about their best interest in whatever we're dealing with them, that will come across, and they may not do business with us. But I've had a ton of referrals from people that was like, you got to talk to Ed because he actually cares. It wasn't a good fit for me, but show people that you care. That will separate you from everybody else. Because I look at my inbox on in LinkedIn, I get so many messages, people just right off the bat trying to sell me something. Get to know me. Show me that you care about me. How am I doing? How's my day going? How's my week?
Very nice.
No, that's powerful. That's actually very profound. In the manner you've actually come across a world where people are so easily accessible, but you don't really care how you approach the person. It's just become buy this. I don't really care if you need it. Buy it.
I hear you, but when it comes to the property market, especially in South Africa, like I said, it's not the same as America, but especially in South Africa, the property market, the guys here are, it just depends on who's more hungry to sell your property, and who's got more of the network of buyers that is willing to buy the property, and who's willing to spend more money on advertising. So you can tell the difference, and they all come across as that they care, because that's what they're supposed to make you feel, that we care. Yes, you will get your price. Yes, we will always try our best. But what I've experienced in the property sector, which is what Addy was asking, it really comes down to how persistent they are and how tenacious they are to get the job done.
Yeah. And I think different industries are a little bit different.
Yeah.
I think I've learned how to smell the BS, whether
Mm.
you genuinely care about me or you care about the transaction.
Yeah.
And I get it in a transaction oriented world because I do some financial services and it's a dog eat dog world. I
Yeah.
may miss out on some deals and some clients simply because I'm not in their face all the time. But I
Yeah.
guarantee by showing them that I care about them,
Yeah.
they're going to refer me business. They're going to talk to me. They're gonna always pick up my call.
Yeah.
That's one of the
I
things that's important to me. Are you going to always
yeah.
pick up my call? You're going to always respond to me.
Yeah. I completely agree with you because in our line of business, we supply the supermarkets and the retailers and restaurants and
Mm,
hotels. And in our line of business, what differentiates us is the fact that we care about the well-being of our clients, and we do suggest, and sometimes it is to our detriment. So I agree with you. Sometimes you know they will ask for a product and we'll say, guys, this product is not a good seller. We wouldn't recommend it. Rather look at another product which we will probably make no money on. So I completely agree with you. And different industries are different, but in the property game, it looks to be slightly more different.
mhm.
Uh, it seems to be slightly more, and obviously you have to develop a relationship, Adi. You know,
Yeah.
you have to develop that relationship, and some agents are better than others. Um, I mean, I look at, for example, Watprop, which is a commercial property agent, and those guys they have fantastic relationships when it comes to commercial properties. And that's why if you drive around in the greater region of Sandton, you see their boards up more frequently than you would see other companies, and you see that their sale rate is higher. But I've met the guys from Watprop, and they are fantastic with developing relationships. They phone you, they care about you, and it goes back to what Ed was saying. They wish you happy birthday. They want to know how your day is. So it is like that. You have to develop the relationship, but it comes with that persistence and it comes with that, you know, the tenacity to get the job, to get the deal done.
Mm. And to add to that, um, you know, my uncle who lived in Cape Town many years, who left and came back, he said to me that after being away for 20, 30 years, and then seeing the people that he grew up with, how are they now? He noticed a trend is that those who stuck with what they had been doing for 20 to 30 years, now that is if they're in the pencil industry, if they're in the toilet industry, if they are in the financial services industry, whatever this person has done, they've stuck with it. Okay, they're doing the same thing. And it's those people that it doesn't matter what they're doing, those people generally have built up a nice house, a family. They have progressed smoothly and positively. They haven't moved around too much. They haven't changed industries too much. They've basically dug their heels into a particular industry, and they are known that in that industry, this person is an expert, whatever that industry is. And so what happens is you build those relationships over, the mindset is 20, 30, 40 years, where when anybody, if this is when you are connecting with people, your understanding is you will be in this industry for 40 years. We're going to grow old together.
Yeah,
Okay. That when people think about that particular thing that needs to be done in that industry, you're the clear favorite because you're the only person that they basically know that does that. And you have staying power and you're the go-to glue in that part of the industry. And that's the key, really,
yeah,
is people think of you for that part of the supply chain in that industry. And that's the end of the story. There's no getting around that. You have the expertise, you know what's going on. People know that you don't rip them off. And that, so I think that's very important as well,
yeah,
is the staying power. Now, of course, the question is like, what industry do you dig your heels into? Now, you'd have to read my book, I think chapter like 11 or something to like get into that. where I talk about what to say in a situation where you haven't found your industry yet. You can just say, I'm into business in general and network anyway. But generally, try and dig your heels into a particular industry.
Yeah. There's a lot to be said about consistency, because you may not be a client right now, but you'll look 5 years and like, he's still doing that same thing and he's still doing it well. And I still see him surviving, you know. You'll get repeat customers. You will get those referrals, because that's staying power. I've been in the financial services in one way or another for a couple of decades, doing different things. But I want to say a couple of years ago, I started doing something else in conjunction, running an NGO. But they still see me at my core doing the financial services and whatnot. So find something that you're passionate about. Find something that you can take care of yourself and your family, and that you don't mind getting up in the morning.
Yeah. And you don't mind fighting the battles, because they
will come. They're going to come.
Yep. Exactly. And you're willing to put the hours. You don't shut off at 5 o'clock. You're like, oh, okay, sorry guys, I'm done. I'm going home.
I think as well, not to get too off topic, but something that came up this week, which was very, very important, was we were approached by one of our partners about a potential client who has a lot of work for us. Okay. Whew. Romantic, low-hanging fruit, money to be made. Woo! Now you're speaking my language, brother.
My fifth car's coming.
But we listened. We heard about the low-hanging fruit, and I had to make an important decision. I thought it was important, and I said to the guys, we've discussed before, what type of client are we looking to grow with? Not this type of client. This is the wrong type of client. This is the kind of client that's going to send us non-stop requests, small chunks of work. The stream itself is not where we want to be. We want to be in this part of the swimming pool, not in that part of the swimming pool. Just because there's a lot of water and fun getting splashed around over there, that's not where we want to be. We need to be smart about the low-hanging fruit. We're not looking for low-hanging fruit, basically. Now, while it might sound appealing, just think refocusing about which is the kind of client you want to be engaging with is so key, because when you get that wrong, and most people do, they will find themselves running around for the wrong sort of client, having built up distribution and stuff for a different stream of client that actually you don't want. Why? Because the low-hanging fruit was too appealing, and you rather need to say, thanks very much. That's not the direction we want to take the business. Now, it's just something that came up this week. Am I the only person that was in that meeting that could see it as like clear as day? This is not the direction we want to take, guys. And I said to them, you're grown men. I'm going to tell you straight. I'm not going to pussyfoot around. I'm not going to butter it up. This is not the kind of client we want to be dealing with. And I've told you this before. Whilst I appreciate the motivation and the intention, this is not the direction we want to go. I'm just going to tell you straight, you're grown men. So I just think it's so important to dig your heels in. I'm also open to suggestion. I don't always get it right, but I need to be able to make a very quick decision. Did I get it wrong, or did you get it wrong? And if I got it wrong, you know what? Actually, I'm willing to look at this. So I just think it's very important. What are your thoughts, Arash, on the right kind of client?
For me, the fundamental, I always go on about this thing, and it's actually my slogan of known as integrity always. I have stood up and even left tables where I have felt uncomfortable about what the person wanted to do. We come across plenty of these guys, fast-moving money guys. We're in the fintech space. Overnight millionaire plan, overnight scheme, overnight this. We can do this. We can do that. And it comes down to, I guess, your integrity levels is pretty much where you're aligning. What you're saying is that I can see, and it also goes perfect with what Ed said. I can see the BS that you're selling me. I'm not interested in this. This is not for me. This doesn't align with what I'm trying to leave behind one day when I pass away to be remembered for. I don't want to be known as this guy that dealt with thousands of doers and made lots of money. But every single person that pretty much mentions your name, that word comes after it. Nah, this oak and that circle of his. It's a fundamental, I guess it just comes down to this enlightenment thing. But this whole thing goes even deeper. Because what you're trying to essentially say is you've gotten to a point in life where you've understood that life is not really purely about the motive of money. It's about that money makes life phenomenal, but it's not life is money, which is a very, very important cognitive bias that I've seen and I've watched with a lot of wealthy and poor people. And you both know I'm very traveled. I just came back from Spain and I saw how guys are struggling in Europe. 50% of everything they make, they get taxed, and the rest they're paying €4 a coffee, €50 an average lunch, living on minimum wage. People are not living good in these countries and these economies. And it all essentially comes down to you've got a world which is now very divided. You've got on one side of the spectrum, which is a very bad cognitive bias, people that work for money because they think they need money to survive. So you're pretty much just working to pay bills, pay things, go along the way. Then you've got the very wealthy who have actually broken through that mindset and they kind of realize, but money is not, it's not what I need to do what I need to do of what my higher purpose and my higher vision is. So it becomes money is a byproduct of what you're doing in life, not money is the thing that I'm planning on waking up to and accepting every single stupid deal because there will be an EFT involved in it. And it all comes down to that higher purpose of what it is that you want to be known for, which is exactly what you said. You said to your partners, guys, we spoke about the kind of clients that we want in our business because you're essentially talking about what is that external reputation that you want your business to have. Exactly what Ed said. He will show you a certain amount of love when you interact with the man. And even if it's hey, bud, you and I are not going to make money together, something will come later down the line, which will be based on the reputation that he's created because Ed has been aligned, same with Adi, that he's a person of integrity, not a fly-by-night. Now, it's very phenomenal and easy to say this when you have money, because some people don't have money and they have to take any kind of deal flow that comes along the way. But also then comes that question, is it the egg before the chicken? Do you first build your integrity and you turn down deals, even though that you don't have money, so you build a good reputation, then the good deals come? Or are you just taking any kind of deals that come along the road, and then you will be able to have a filtering system? And to be honest, I don't have the answer to that. I see our export man.
I'd like to hear exactly. I'd like to hear Ed's thoughts. Reza, we didn't notice that you dropped off. Don't worry.
He was sending some. He was sending it.
If
you saw, he pulled out his laptop, so he was working on one of his fundamental spreadsheets, as he told us. So
Ed, what are your thoughts?
We saw. Reza just closed the deal, guys.
There you go. There you go. Congratulations. It's probably Beautiful. That low hanging fruit. The low hanging fruit. I did not grow up with money. Grew up in, I would say, lower middle class. We weren't poor, but we were okay. But my parents worked every day, so I understand the people that are gravitating towards that low hanging fruit. It's easy. It's easy to pull it off. And I don't know if you guys have ever pulled fruit off a tree. That's typically not the best fruit on the tree, that low hanging fruit. You go up a little further, you find the sweeter, whatever that fruit. But one of the things that Irash kept saying, he kept bringing up alignment. And a lot of times as individuals, we don't look at our values. And a lot of people don't even know what their values are. Like, have you actually really sat down to say, all right, these are my core values that I will not sway from? A lot of us move like the wind. Our values change depending on what's going on in life. When you can figure out what your value are, align everything else with those values. Because while that low-hanging fruit might be great right now and easy, does it align with your values? And if no, you have to walk away. You talked about purpose. A lot of us don't know what our purpose is. That's a hard thing. A lot of us don't find our purpose till later in life. I was in my mid 40s before I found my purpose. And my purpose is not financial services, though I do a pretty good job at it and everything. That's not my purpose. My purpose is here to serve people. And whatever the aspect that looks like, that's my purpose. Now, because I serve people, I get it back in return. You know, I'm a firm believer, whatever you give, you will get back. Life is a boomerang. You throw that boomerang, it's going to come back. It's going to come back to you. Go ahead, Reza.
100%. I agree with you. It's the law of giving. You have to give to be able to receive.
Yeah, open hand. Like you know, like I said, I lead with my faith, and there is a scripture in the Bible that says, "Given it shall be given unto you," and that's how I live my life. You know, give. And a lot of people say, "Oh, you're giving too much. You can't pour from an empty cup." I always hear people, "You can't pour from an empty cup." So you don't know who my source is. So who my source is, my cup is never empty. But value alignment is the most important thing. And there was a time in my career I didn't do that. I was going after whatever sale came my way. I'm going after. I didn't like you. I didn't care. You cheated on your wife, or you did drugs. As long as I got that sale, that's all that mattered. And then I had a shift. And when I started really understanding my values, my true values, and I will turn deals away, I will turn money away, opportunities, and I have. And sometimes I'll look at my bank account, I was like, I shouldn't have turned that deal away, but it wasn't a value alignment. So value alignment is important. So that's all I got to say on that one. So I can go on and on.
Do you remember in the meeting before we started this show today, the question that I was asked? And I've actually been thrown this at quite a few times in what we're trying to do at StartX, and you were there as you're part of the StartX team. Could you hear that they kept going on about why are we not bringing the advertising in to make money off of this exchange already? Plenty people have already come to me and said, why don't we just do the advertising from start? Why do we have to build up the platform and then bring in the advertising? But I don't want to be known for that. That's not what Ed and Arash and the rest of the team are trying to do. We're trying to create a global exchange to help founders raise the capital they need and investors in finding the deals that they want. We don't want a platform full of adverts all over the place as long as our company is making money. That's not what we want. That is not our alignment. And I'm starting to, even after this chat that you and I had, I'm starting to actually understand why you agreed to join the StartX team, is because I'm starting to see that your vision is very aligned with what it is that I want to do at StartX, of creating a system that actually helps people that have good concepts get the capital they need so they can evolve humanity. Not just make another platform that as soon as you open it, one advert pops up, download this video and get a free Candy Crush coupon, or do that. It might sound phenomenal on the balance sheet. And I'm about 4 years into the StartX mission without really making any money off of this thing. And I've come this far, not selling
away coupons.
But have you not opened every? Can we send the Candy Crush coupons, please, for Adi? Ed, we're 4 years in and we haven't sold out. So I think we can hold out a bit on what we're trying to do at StarTex and build up the system before we talk of the adverts.
So one of the things that you talked about is evolving humanity. I think certain individuals, they start out with good intentions. I believe everybody starts out typically with good intentions. But as dollar signs start changing, as you know, you were talking about, you know, people spend more than they're making. That changes. It changes. How much can I put in my pocket? How many cars can I get? How big is my house? How many luxury vacations can I take? What clothing do I have on? You know, one of the things I used to do a lot of networking and connecting with people, and it used to drive me nuts. Everybody was asking me, "What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living?" And I remember one day, one gentleman asked me that, and it's a flip switched in me. I said, "It's not what I do for a living, but it's what I do for the living." And I watched his face go blank because I said, that's what I want to be known for. I want to be known for the stuff that I do. I want to be known for how I serve people. How do I help people? How do I get, maybe it's a single mom, you know, do something, or as a person that's hungry. How do I do things like that to uplift our people as a whole? Now imagine if we had just a quarter of our planet that was all about serving humanity. We wouldn't have a lot of the issues that we have right now. And I think businesses, founders, investors, we all owe a duty to society to do good. Do good. Every deal that you do good. That's a dream. It's a dream.
That's
the
in
dream,
an ideal
Edge.
world. Yeah, in an ideal
That's
world,
the dream.
you should operate your business from a conscious level. That's the ideal world.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't really work that way.
Look, I believe in the ripple effect, and I'll keep on believing the ripple effect until the day I'm gone. Just toss it out there, and I never know. It might hit 2, it might hit 3, and then they might hit 5. We never know. I mean, just, you know, and it's important to teach our children too. Teach our youth. Teach them early, you know, certain things, and because they're getting flooded with, you know, the airwaves, whether it's music, whether it's social media, with so much garbage. I love technology. Absolutely love it. But there's so much garbage out there that is being fed to our youth. And they are going down this vicious cycle. I'm a little scared for some of our youth and, you know, 10, 20 years down the line.
Well, Adi's got 5 kids, so he's got plenty teaching to do. You might as well start your own school there, Rabbi.
I got 6.
Do you know what? The new baby
Ed's
is
got
1
6.
week old. You got 6 kids?
Never knew that.
We got 6 kids and 6 kids and 6 grandchildren.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And you know,
Ed,
just guys,
Adi, get to work. You've been challenged.
No, I'm done. I'd like, if possible, everybody to just tell me in one sentence what 2024 represents for you. One sentence, you know, of what exactly you are going to try to achieve in 2024.
Raz, go. You love these things. And you keep jumping off to do deals, so you might as well get some airtime.
I think for me, 2024 is new horizons. That's the word that comes into my
New what? Sorry.
New horizons.
Horizons.
Yeah. Our business is evolving continuously, and there's new opportunities that are just popping up. Well, they have popped up over the last 2 months. So it would be new horizons or exploration of the new opportunities.
Beautiful. Arash?
Mine is going to get very philosophical because I've actually had a very, 2022 and 2023, I can openly say could possibly have been the worst years of my life. I had certain pains and things that I never thought I would have to deal with. And it taught me a lot, especially the Spanish expedition, my Spaniard Christopher Columbus expedition that I went on to Spain to spend a few months there. And, I've had some time to think about a lot of the fundamental problems that I had done wrong in life, because I also believe strong people can point at themselves without waiting for others to point at them. It's an actual trait of strength when you're capable of saying, "Bud, you're an idiot. You don't need anyone else to tell you what you did was idiotic." And I went through quite a bit of a journey in the last few months, and I've just come to this realization that I'm going to let go, Adi. I'm going to let go of this concept of trying to figure things out. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of trying to be calculative, analytical, and trying to get to a result that I had fabricated based on my expectations, and then it never happened, and I disappointed myself, and somebody didn't behave the way that they were supposed to have behaved, because based on my fabrication, I thought somebody was supposed to behave that way, and when they didn't, I'm in a shock, which makes me quite an idiot, because who are you in the first place to have an expectation of another human being to be a certain way? And I've really just gotten to a point in my life where I've created my business, I've created my family values, I've created my circle, I've created people I actually respond to, who I find worth discussions with. And I'm just going to let go. I'm actually just going to see where this all goes. I'm not going to become a tree hugger. I'm not saying that. You're not going to see me smoking weed and taking shrooms and trying to find another parallel universe. But I'm just going to go with a bit more of the flow than what I had done in the previous years of trying to be this analytical, calculative. Ed remembers from the first time he met me when I spoke about, this is my plan, this is my strategy, this is what we're doing. This is the goal. This is the goalpost. Let's do this. We've got this. The ship is going in this direction. Ed, I unfortunately have to retract those words and say the world is not in my hands. The best I can do is the best I can do, and I can let go and do the best I can do, and let's see where it goes. That's where I've got into, I guess, in my life.
So glad you've
Let's
come
see.
to that point. It never was in your hands. You have no control.
Let's see. Let's see. There's my older brother telling me you're an idiot. That's his way of. That's what he was trying to say.
I don't.
Don't worry, we're not censored yet.
If the shoe fits, then what can I say?
Lace it up. If the shoe fits, lace that shit up. Yeah, guys, I'm tired of trying to figure it out. I've got a good team around me now. I've got a good product. I've got a good business. I've got good guys by my side, such as you three. You're going to get the best out of me at 24/7 at any odd time that you need my assistance with anything. And let's just see where it goes.
Ed, give us your 2024 words of inspiration, please.
Yeah. So, a few years ago, right before COVID, I was at a meeting, and a individual I met for the very first time, and she said to me, "Ed, what's your word for the year?" Like, word for the year? I'm like, I've never done that. And it caused me to think, like, what is my word? So since then, I've been focused for each year with a different word. Last year was about impact. This year, it's about love. I want to be more loving. I want to be more loving, first of all, towards myself, because I think self-love is important. Be loving to myself when I mess up, when I'm challenging, when I'm down. I went through a period not too long ago where I was depressed, but I got to be more loving on myself, and then loving other people. We are all fighting an internal battle that some of us will never ever see, and sometimes you can either put water on that fire or add fuel to that fire when someone's going through something. Sometimes if we can just spread a little more love to someone, especially those that seem the most challenging. I found out the people that are the most challenging and difficult to love are the ones that need it the most. Those are the ones that need that tight hug. So for me, it's all about just being more loving, being more open to receiving love, but more importantly, just giving love to whomever may need it at that given time.
You got my vote, Ed.
Nice.
You
Very,
did.
very nice.
What you said, the most difficult people are the ones that really need it.
Yeah.
I could not concur with you more, him. You actually see the people that are fighting their demons the hardest.
It's hard.
Those are the ones that need to be told, bud, you're not alone.
Yeah, man.
You're
Life's
really
tough.
not alone.
Life's tough for a lot of people out there, man. That internal battlefield. And we've all been through it at one point in time where we just internally, we're just struggling. And as men, as society put on us that we don't need these certain things, but we do. When was the last time you told a man that I love you? I'm here for you.
I do that
I
quite
believe
often.
in you. See, but we don't society, and it's great, but we don't have enough men doing it. Because for the longest, there was a period like you can't tell another man you love you. I remember the first time a man, and I'm gonna call his name out here. His name is J. Dwayne Garnett. He's like, I love you, bro. And I looked at him like, I was like, okay.
What do you want?
I didn't know how to respond at that time. I was like, okay. But it goes a long way especially when as men, when we can get vulnerable. And he's like, I love you. I appreciate you. I value you. I'm there for you.
I agree. I lost. I can openly say 2023, I lost the battle. I was, as Ed said, he had depression phases. 2023 for me, I was struggling to get out of bed on certain days. I was completely defeated. I put on this cute smile every day and acted all cute and loving. I was not winning. So, I had some good months where I managed to fix a few fundamental mental issues I had. And let's see, Anadi, your turn, and we can wrap it up.
I've gone through different thoughts as I've been trying to work out what is my 2024. I'm going to go with this now. I've changed my mind. So what I've settled on. So I had a few ideas as I was thinking about this, but what I've settled on is I believe that people want to see magic. Okay. Now, I want to be the person who creates magic. Okay. Now, that means, of course, from a business perspective, I want to be able to find sparks that did not exist before. I want to be able to whip them together in a magic cauldron. I want to be able to pull out the magic wand, and I want to be able to, and I want the results for those absorbing and viewing and watching and participating to feel like they are participating in magic. My intention is to create magic in 2024, not to take something someone else has done and copy it, but actually to create magic. Okay. We will never know how David Copperfield walked through the wall. We will never know. What we do know is the name David Copperfield, who created magic. Okay. And so that is my 2024 pledge that I'm gonna do that.
I love that.
EA, beautiful, Adi. That was a good one. That was beautiful there, Adi.
I like that. You brought me back to David Copperfield. I haven't thought about him in a while. I used to love him. Amazing.
Yeah, powerful words.
Yeah. So that's it, guys.
Gents,
yeah, exactly. Very nice to chat with you, Ed.
Pleasure is all mine. I look forward to our future interactions.
I'm going to see you on LinkedIn. I've sent you a connection request.
I've already accepted.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, gents, we've got our export man dropped off to do another deal as well. So on that note, thanks everyone for your time. Thanks to the viewers, and I'll see everybody when they see me. Beautiful.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.